Hello and welcome to capital LAF Space Film Fest, my channel. I'm Mr. Lawrence, and today I got a little project that nobody likes to do. It's one of those deals, it's a painting project, and it is, yes, the dreaded shutter. So anyways, it's Sunday afternoon. We've had some rain showers outside, so I thought I'd come in. I told Mrs. Melissa I'd try to get this project done for her, get them painted and get them put up. So got a few more to go. She has been helping me out, and she has done a very good job. So anyways, I'm going to show you a few things to make this project easier and more enjoyable for you. And tell you what, you can really make a difference on your house. You can change the color of the shutters, and just everything seems to change. Looks like a brand new home sometimes. I mean, it can make that big of a difference. So anyways, I'll show you a few things about it. First of all, it's important to get comfortable when you start to paint shutters. So so what I've got to set up here is I've got some sawhorses. And this is actually just a piece of drywall. This is actually an idea that Miss Melissa's come up with, and actually it works pretty good. So anyways, you get it all set up, and then that way there, your shutter can actually lay on it, and now you're ready to go. It's a pretty good idea. Step number one. Got a little ahead of myself there. Step number one is literally going outside and taking the shutters off, right? And I'll show you that whenever I put them back on. I'll show you also the procedure in taking them back off. The thing I found out, when you take the shutters off, it's real important. Take you a little marker out there, like a Sharpie, and mark like the bottom edge. And it doesn't have to be all along the edge. Just a little bit. Just a little space at the bottom. And that way there, whenever you go to put them back up, if they're up against the window, which they should have been anyways, and you line them up to that bottom mark, then your screws ought to go right back into the hose that you have on the house. And whether it's a vinyl siding, wood, or even a brick home, it's important that if you take them off, then you can put them right back up and put them back on, and it's not a big hassle for you. So you always want to make sure you got a drop cloth down here. That way there, you're not setting yourself up for a problem, you know. We're all going to make mistakes. You know, you might have a little bit drip off. Don't ruin your floor. You know, I've got a concrete floor here. It's not that big of a deal, but you got carpet, got hardwood, something like that. So go ahead and put your drop cloth down, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So doing a project like this, what's really important is to stay comfortable. Get comfortable, and the project goes so much easier. So what I always do is I've got my shutter set up here, got my sawhorses, drop cloth, everything ready. Voila! I'll put my little stool down there. That way there, I can literally sit down and I can paint my shutter. Okay? I'm nice and comfortable. You know, I don't have to stand the whole time, and it's just a way to make the project go more smooth. So get completely set up, completely comfortable before you start. Okay, so the paint I'd recommend for painting the shutters would be the Marquee. Once again, I know it's in reverse. It's just the way my camera, you know, the way I've got it set up. But it's a bare Marquee, and on the shutters, I'm going to use this semi-gloss there, and the reason why is that way they're a lot easier to wash off, and the dirt kind of flows right off of them. So once again, we will get here and open it up. Okay, always have a little paint stick here handy just to kind of mix it up a little bit. on these little quarts, it doesn't take much, just a few little stirs, and you have it. Put that paint back in the can there. Once again, like we talked before on our painting projects, we are neat as a pin. The more neat you are, the better the project. Okay. Pour me a little bit in there. Don't need much, because the shutter's not going to take a lot of paint. I'll probably paint 10 sets of shutters probably with this one little quart right here. So, oh yeah, one little tip. When you go to pour, always have your little finger down at the bottom and kind of hold it like that, because I've literally before went to pour a quart and this paper label was loose and slipped and spilt the paint. So you want to be sure and always have your finger underneath there like that and kind of hold it. So we got the paint poured. We always put the lid back on. Paint lid on top of that. And now we are ready to start spreading a little paint. Okay, ready to start spreading some paint. Oh, by the way, I put my paint in a little cottage cheese container right here. Those work out great. Everybody's got those, you know. Everybody recycles them, have them sitting around. So those work out pretty good. So, and what I'll do is I'll set my container right there in the middle, and it's just going to be real convenient. So whenever I paint a shutter, what I'll do is I'll get the worst part over with first, and that's all these slats right here. So I'll go ahead and put one coat on the slats, and then I go back and I'll do the perimeter. Once again, dip it in, tap, tap, tap on both sides, and from that point right there, just start. Remember, on your first coat, you don't have to worry about complete coverage, because on a shutter outside, we're definitely going to give it 2 coats. So I get that first part done, and then what I'll start doing is I'll start working these edges through here. Okay, just like that. Tap, 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 and I'll get those edges. The edges of the slats, we want to work on those first. Get those filled in. Okay, tap, tap, tap. Work on this side right here. Notice it's a lot of kind of almost dabbing and brushing same time. Okay. So like I've got those edges done, and then after 5 or 6, I will go and then I'll go ahead and do the slat. And you want to try to get all the way in, because once you put the shutter up on the house, if you miss some spots like this underneath edge here, it'll sure show up once you put it back on the house. So you'll want to make sure that you get them all covered. Tap, tap, tap. Back in there again. Just like that. Once again, real comfortable, sitting here, got a little music playing, got a fan blowing on me right over here, oops, right over there, and it's comfortable, about as comfortable as I can be painting the shutter. If it's summertime, you don't want to do this outside. You definitely don't want to do it in the sun, and even in the shade. If the humidity gets 80-90%, it's in the 90s, your paint, you're going to notice that your paint is going to want to gel up pretty fast and kind of make a mess for you. Okay, so there we go. We are started. Okay. You'll be able to see how I do this a little bit better this way. So I'm just getting that groove right there, making sure that's all covered, running this little line on the outside there, Get your grooves all filled in down through there. That little groove right there, that's the one that'll get you. A lot of people forget that. And then once they put their shutters up, they realize, oh man, that don't look real good. So that's what I'll do right there. Get them little spots filled in. It's just a series of step 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe 5 and 6, but eventually your shutters are going to look nice. And it's going to change the whole look of your house. There we go. Color I'm using today is called Art District. It's a bare color and really pretty. Really like it. Okay, so I got my slats all done here, and now to me is the easy spot, the part of it right here. So just gonna go ahead and run these outside rails. Don't want to put too much paint on. You don't want runs. You want to be sure and just spread it out, work it out. Once you get a section done, I'll always come back in and just kind of just straighten out my lines. On a shutter, you don't have to worry about it too much because they've got the grooves cut into them anyways. Kind of make them look like wood. This is a plastic shutter right here, so yeah, they'll have the grooves in it anyways. They're actually pretty easy to paint. It's just the technique of doing all the slats is kind of tough, but the actual painting process is pretty easy. Okay, almost finished up with the face of it. Next thing I'll do is I'll come in and I'll paint these edges right here. And go all the way around and paint those, and we're almost done. Now I've done a lot of painting, so if you notice I can go pretty fast, but don't worry about it. If it takes you starting out, if it takes you a lot longer, no big deal. Right? What else you got to do on a Sunday afternoon? All right. There we go. That shutter is painted. First coat. And from there, what I'll do is I'll put it so it can dry. And put the other one up here. And I would say that took me no more than 30 minutes probably from start to finish. That's not bad. You know, you figure you got to second coat it. Second coat will probably take 15 minutes. So, yeah, all in all, it doesn't take that long. You can have a beautiful result. Okay, one thing I should have mentioned was on a plastic shutter like this, it's real important that when you take it off the house that you clean it. And you can use some Dish Dawn soap, some water. You know, just take a sponge, wash it off, rinse it off, let it dry. And that way there you get all the dirt particles, spiders, wasps, whatever else have made homes. Which brings me to a good point. When you do take it off the house, be careful, because almost always, at least here in southern Indiana, you'll have wasp nests all the way down through these channels right here. So be careful when you're taking it off, and if you got them, take them off, destroy them. That's one thing I don't like. Wasps are bad news. There's a certain wasp around here in southern Indiana, maybe other parts of the country, that are killing almost every oak tree we have. So they chew around the branches, the end of the branches, and they'll plant their eggs in there. And they're called galls, and it's horrible. And so many oak trees, which is a shame, because we got the most beautiful oak trees probably anywhere, and it's killing them all. So when it comes to a wasp, whack, you're out of here. I saved the pollinators, but the wasp. Okay, so ready to go. Shutter number 2. Yeah, one thing that's nice when you're painting is to turn you some music on. And personally, I prefer music without lyrics. I don't know what's on right now. I don't know if you can hear that or not. But kind of gets you in a rhythm. Let your mind think about things as you're painting. Pretty nice. There we go. Almost got another one done. Okay, remember I said how important a drop cloth is? As you can see, I've got a drip there on my hammer, a couple over here. Hey, it happens. It's coming from the underneath side, so no big deal if you got yourself covered. Also, my supervisor here seems to be happy with my progress. This is Sammy. And Sammy likes to be a star on the channel. But right now he's saying, man, can you not tell I was taking a nap, bud? Alright, Sammy? Alright, good night. There he goes. He's a tired dog. He's a bear doodle. Kind of a rare breed. Okay, remember, wash your brush out. Yeah. About every hour or so. So I got 2 shutters painted. And brush was starting to dry up just a little bit on the top right there. So yeah, wash it out good. Once again, this is latex paint. The generation of paints these days have made leapfrogs over what used to be less environmentally friendly paints. Now they've really got that under control. So wash your brush out real good and dry it off, and it will be ready to go for the next time. This brush right here has been used on, I don't know, maybe about 8 sets of shutters so far. It looks like it's brand new out of the box. So, but good quality, right? Remember we talked about that. Don't buy no junk. Don't buy a junk brush. If you buy a junk brush, you're going to get a junk job. So, that's important. Very, very important to always buy good quality tools and good quality paint. Sam, is it okay if I go outside and hang a few shutters? Is that alright with you? I want approval from the boss. Okay, I'm taking that as a yes. Thank you, bud. Okay, here's another good tip for you. I've got this shutter marked KR, which stands for Kitchen Right. So whenever I go to put them back together, they're all going to go back in the exact spot that I had that I first intended them to go on. So here's my mark I mentioned earlier. So it's very easy. Let's set this down a second and show you. This is what I'm going to use to put the shutters on with. A lot of times shutters come with junk screws and they strip out, they rust. So these are exterior screws. They actually have a star head on them, which I really like. And so what I'm going to do, got my drill, ready to go. You notice I got everything right here. You can barely see my ladder, but I've got it set here. Everything is right here where I don't have to reach for it. I don't have to go up and down a ladder. Everything's right here, convenient. So I'll just take this shutter and I'll put him right back up there. Now here's the important spot. There we go. So I've lined that up so I know that this screw that's going to go in right here is going to go in to the same hole that's in the siding before. There we go. Remember, don't compress it too much. Because I mean, you can just suck that shutter in and put a big dent in it. So I just get it to where it's snug. And then I'll go up here. I'll make sure it's tight against the window. Let's go up here and put this one in. Okay, good. And if you'll notice, the screws aren't the same color as the shutter, but that's okay. I'll come back here with a little paint and tip them up. What we got here? We got a little piece of grass giving me trouble. Hey, buddy. He's like, man, I want to be in the video. Okay. Also, just as another tip, if you notice when I use a drill, man, I don't put it on there and drill it in and push hard. I pulsate it in. That's the best way to control it. So here, I'll show you again. Okay. Put the screw in. Once it hits, I just... There we go. Don't need a lot of power. We're good to go on that. Uh-oh. Every once in a while, you're going to have trouble with your drill like I just did. Drills used to have chucks. We'd crank them down. This little grass is messing with me now. Anyways, used to have a chuck. You could hit it, and the bit wouldn't get loose. But now everything is just hand. You just tighten it like that, and I seem to have trouble with some of them wanting to come loose. So, anyways, let's see if this won't work a little better. There we go, and that's a done deal. So, I'll do the other one same way. I'll get the rest of the house done same way, and that's all there's to it. So, I hope you get out there. I hope if you're wanting to paint your shutters, I hope you get out there, you buy you some good quality marquee semi-gloss paint, you wash that shutter, you take your time, get all set up, paint it, give it 2 coats, come out, put it back, sit back and go, mwah, did I do that? Hey, you can paint like a pro. All right. Capital L-A-F space Film Fest, small caps. Capital L-A-F space small caps F-I-L-M-F-E-S-T. Come check the channel out. I appreciate you being on the channel, and hit that like button. Subscribe if you like. I've got so many tips I'm going to give out. Oh Lord. And none of these I'm like doing for the video, meaning I'm going to be doing them anyway. So that's why I finally figured, you know what, I might as well go ahead and put this stuff on film, because I guarantee somebody, it's going to help somebody out there. So anyways, peace out. Appreciate you being here. Talk to you later.